with the longest reigning Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion of all the time, Gunther, going up against The Miz, the Autonomy of Awesome, Mike Mizanin.
Now, I talked about on WrestleDraft that there was a match that I have a prediction for that the world's going to think I'm crazy. It's right here. I go back to Monday Night Raw, and Gunther's cutting his promo, and he's talking about how Miz was a weird-looking dude when he was coming up in the business, and that Miz used to get picked on. I'm sorry. The man who looked like this is not the person who gets to talk about people being picked on in the early days of the wrestling business. For those that don't know, this is a picture of Gunther from way back in the day working the indies.
He was still probably a better wrestler than The Miz, though.
Probably, because The Miz really wasn't a trained wrestler.
And here's the thing. If somebody looked like that wasn't getting picked on,
I'm sure he was.
Think maybe not.
He's a chubby dude. He's a
chubby guy when he got hired.
He was a chubby dude when he got hired. He was a chubby dude all up until he got into the main roster. All of a sudden, he started losing weight. I'm just saying.
Now it looks like $1 million.
Well, yes, because Ginny made sure he got in shape for the wedding. Anyways, beyond all that,
there's a time to get in shape.
The Miz is the greatest Intercontinental Champion the WWE's ever had. Not the longest reigning, not the most interesting.
That's self-entitled on your end.
I'll take it. I don't care. I think The Miz is the greatest Intercontinental Champion that this company's ever had. If he gets this, he will be a 9-time Intercontinental Champion, which will tie with the most reigns with Chris Jericho. Also,
in the WWE.
We're not counting the IWGP title, the IWGP Intercontinental Championship, as the Intercontinental Championship. That doesn't happen. It's not real. Stop saying that.
If we're counting Ric Flair's NWA titles in this picture as 16 times,
it's different.
We count.
No, we're not talking.
We count his.
Ric Flair's 17-time World Heavyweight Championships isn't the same as the Intercontinental Championship. These are two different statements, Parrish. Stop.
I know. I'm just saying in a general thing.
No.
If we're going to use Ric Flair's outside of WWE stats and say he's a 16-time champion in the realm of WWE, I am going to say when Miz, if he ever wins the Intercontinental Championship again, he is still not tied with Jericho because he would be, by that theory, a 10-time champion. I don't agree with it. I think it all should depend on what you do in WWE. I agree with that.
Okay, Garfield. By the way, Barry Monkey, I'm just using the Garfield. Yes, round is a shape, but anyways.
Shape of his Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship.
Yeah. I'm just saying. It will be able for WWE to be able to talk about Miz having tied for the most reigns in the history of this belt. Because it will. He can go ahead and do that. And if he holds it for about, 20 or 30 days, he will pass as the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion through all of the title reigns. Because he's very close to passing that number as it is. I want to say he's within a month.
I hope he
Gunther needs to lose this title at some point in the near future to be able to go after the World Championship. I think this is the perfect place and time to have Gunther lose the title here and then win the Royal Rumble and take on Seth Rollins for the World Heavyweight Championship and be crowned at WrestleMania so that when he goes to France, he is a conquering hero as a European holding the World Championship in France and then continue to hold it where he is going to be the all-conquering hero when we get to Berlin. But to do all that, he needs to lose this title, and there is no better person at all right now for him to lose it to than The Miz.
one of the funniest things I think I've seen Gunther do is completely crap on the Ultimate Warrior, without really going too negative in the way of how he said it. And that was done in the bump. I think if you were to have anybody ever to hold the Intercontinental and World Heavyweight title again, Gunther is the perfect guy to do it. The most realistic person that could do it. The guy up here is
the greatest Intercontinental
as
champion of all
silly
time.
as my dad jokes when it comes to believability, when it comes to kicking that guy's the guy above you. I do not have any sympathy for Mike. I don't hate him, but I hope he gets squashed like a bug. And we see the longest, and by average, the best Intercontinental champion. Because how many days is The Miz as champion?
2000 something.
So he needed 8 reigns to get 2,000, whereas it took Gunther 1 to get 25% of that.
I mean, you got to lose the title to win the title. You know, it is what it is.
Do you? I mean, Seth Rollins had the U.S. and WWE title at one point.
Yeah, and that was a bad idea, and we proved that. All right, so The Miz has 8 title reigns combined for 597 days, recognized by WWE at 592. Pedro Morales has 617 recognized days as the longest reigning Intercontinental champion in combined and in reigns. No, I'm sorry. That's not right. Why is this? Wikipedia sucks sometimes. You got to kind of figure it out. Pedro Morales has 619 combined days as champion in 2 reigns. Miz has 8 for 597.
And Gunther's at what, like
531.
Okay, then. So what it basically takes Miz 8 tries to do, it only takes Gunther 1.
I mean,
the most part.
When you talk, but again, when you talk about the fact that Gunther is this great champion, other than the stuff he's done recently, has he?
Clash of the Castle match of the one of the matches of the year.
Yeah, Sheamus, that's great.
The triple threat of WrestleMania was fantastic.
Yeah, it was all right.
Matches with Gable, amazing. Matches with Bronson Reed, great. And matches with Tommaso Ciampa, great. Some of the matches that you're seeing on Raw every week that have been some of the best that WWE is producing, they're for the Intercontinental Championship, and they're involving Gunther. He is making that title very difficult to win. Mm-hmm. He is making that championship mean something that, as much as Mike Mizanin, aka The Miz, did at his time, he made it relevant. Gunther is making this championship more worthy than the world title on the same brand.
Okay, so by your math, Roman Reigns is a better world champion than The Undertaker.
His title reign is better than anyone.
No, he's a better champion. By your math, Roman Reigns is a better world champion than The Undertaker.
I'm saying no, because you're.
That's what you just said.
No, you're assuming I only think it's of days. I'm thinking what you do with the days, the matches you had. How many classic Intercontinental matches did The Miz really have?
I can think of 5 off the top of my head, and that's without trying.
I can think of 5 this year from Gunther. Just this calendar year.
But they're not classic. See, that's the thing. They can't be a classic if they've happened in the past year. We have to wait till Gunther's reign is years old before we can talk about some of these matches being classics. You can't be classic in the time.
I'm saying there were great matches. And that's, to me, I think when you set the... Gunther is setting a standard on the Intercontinental Championship that not a lot of people have done.
I agree.
And he has made this championship more respected than most people have done.
Mm-hmm.
And I do believe that list includes The Miz. And I do think he defeats The Miz. And I think he is going to go on and break that record held by Pedro Morales. If it's only 617
Mhm.
and he's at 520. Yeah,
I think
he's
this
doing
is
that.
this is Gunther's last reign with the Intercontinental title, and it's going to end before Rumble.
And it's going to be the
It's
most
going to end
historic
before
of all
Rumble.
time.
No, it's not.
So, why
It's
does it need
not.
to be done by the Rumble?
Because he needs to lose it in order to win another championship.
Oh.
Double champion.
He can lose it in Elimination Chamber.
No, you don't. So you're going to have your Royal Rumble winner or your World Championship challenger lose a title right before he wins the next title. No, you give it a little bit of time.
I would have him win both.
Space. No, but that's stupid too.
No.
Why do people have to have double singles champions are bad? They should
Why does
never
Disney
exist.
Another championship? Why couldn't you have just done it right the first 8 times and then, I don't know, go into the world title and keep himself up there?
Because The Miz can become a beatable champion so that you can put the title on other guys who need and deserve it, where Gunther doesn't fucking need it anymore.
The Miz
He's
is
done
a
what
great
he needs to do.
transitional champion. He's not a great actual champion.
He doesn't have to be transitional. I'm just saying you can actually have people beat you can actually have people beat The Miz. There are stories to be told with a 6-month reign for The Miz that are better than Gunther can do in the next 6 months. What Gunther needs to do is drop this and go to the next level.
Yeah, and eventually it will happen.
It will happen tomorrow night.
It will not.
It will.
No.
It will happen tomorrow night. I am sick and tired of Gunther.
Gunther is a better Intercontinental champion than Tom Brady was at quarterback.
And we no longer have a co-host. I'm going to go ahead and talk about the main event now. Oh, no.
Don't get petty. Let's just do the show.
I'm not
because
getting petty. If you're gonna start spreading nonsense, we're just gonna move on to the next. But me as the only person here.
Same.
Chris Best laughing at us.
He was also a better Buccaneer than he was a Patriot.
Parrish just showing how much he doesn't know about football.